Welcome back to Shoptalk. For Christians, it's a dream to commemorate Holy Week in the Holy Land. Well, our guests in this segment actually had the chance to do that. And here to share their stories with us are Corazon and Nina Verheldentus. Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
Miss Miza. How are you girls? We're going to talk about the Holy Land. So, Holy Land during Holy Week, is that the case? You left your whole family, because usually Holy Week is a time to be with your family. You know, during the Good Friday, maybe go out of town a little bit. But you girls have decided, or had decided, to go with a group of friends to the Holy Land.
Yes.
What made you decide that?
Well, because the first time I went was, 1968.
So you made a trip to the Holy Land quite some time ago.
And then I wanted to go back. It was not a Holy Week.
Okay.
So this time I wanted to have a taste of the Holy Week at the Holy Land.
And did you gather your group of friends, or was there already a group going?
There was a group.
Okay. And so they said, sige,
let's go. My classmates.
And you've been there twice during Holy Week.
Holy Week.
Okay. And Miss Corazon?
I was being convinced by my friend, Ofi Along, because he has been in Holy Land for twice or thrice. He told me, Mari, why don't you go to Holy Land instead of going to other countries? We can have plenty of memories there. So yes, I want to go with you. So I left my family, I went with her, and yes, that's true. I find Holy Land a better place to go.
Okay naman sa yung pamilya, okay naman.
Okay.
Sige na,
Yes.
okay
It's
lang.
time for me to go also everywhere na kung gusto kong pumunta, pwede naman. Because I'm already a widow.
Okay.
I don't have any husband, so I went
No
there.
commitments, di ba?
No, yes.
So pack up and go anytime.
Yes,
Did you
that's
girls go together?
No.
Oh, you had separate trips. So maybe you can talk about your experiences. Maybe we'll start with Miss Corazon. How was your experience, and what parts of the Holy Land did you see?
The first part of Holy Land that I went through was in the Sea of Galilee.
Okay.
There, I was so surprised for the big sea that I saw. Then I have cried, oh my, this is the place where God has made the miracle.
Na-overwhelmed po kayo?
Yes, sobra. Lord, I'm so lucky that one of your child is being here. Hindi lang ako nasa Philippines. I'm here now in your place. So Lord, can you please make a miracle again? Kung maaari makita ko miracle, parang nag-dream ako kasi the wind is so very, very big na wind. Ang sarap-sarap ang pakiramdam. So sabi ko, Lord, I'm so lucky. Thank you. This is the place I want to see because it's in the Bible. Kagawa si Lord ng miracle sa Sea of Galilee. That's it.
Was that one of your favorite spots to visit? Because I'm sure you visited more than one spot.
One thing is there in the dungeon where God was being in prison. I cried so loud. Parang I can experience how hard He has sacrificed for us. Tears. And I could not imagine how I feel that time. Sabi ko, Lord, I was so lucky to see the place, but I'm so sad. And now I realize how you love us. Because you can see the place. It's too merciful for a person to be in prison, you know. What more of a Lord being in prison. So that's my first experience also. And I cried very hard.
You seem so overcome with emotion even now. Because
Yes.
the experience is still in your mind. What about for you, Miss Lisa?
Every time I go to the Holy Land, it seems I go inside the Bible. And I feel like I'm there also living with Jesus.
Because you know the stories very well.
Yes.
So what were some of the favorite places that you went to visit?
I like the Nativity.
Okay.
The Nativity.
Of course.
But I was thinking then that we use a manger, no? A stable. But now you go down, it's a lower floor, lower ground, and you know the feeling that our baby Jesus was there, lying there, and born there. So
I guess when you go to the Holy Land, would you say that the energy is very different?
Yes.
Because as Catholics, we believe that this really happened.
Yes.
And that this is our Lord who came down to save us. And this is where His life all happened.
that's right.
So would you say that there's a magic energy, or because you guys are talking about it now and you seem so overcome with emotion again?
Yes.
And my goodness, good thing you didn't bring the pictures here, because maybe you'd be crying. I'm sure they're flashing some pictures now that you got to give them. So maybe you
And
can
I was
talk about
always telling friends, if this will be the first time you go abroad, choose Holy Land first.
Really?
Yes.
If it's
Holy
their
Land
first trip
It's
abroad
their first trip
ever,
abroad.
why is that?
Well, because the experience you get there is like, you feel purged.
It's like a cleansing,
Yes.
I
You
suppose.
feel purged.
And Miss Corazon,
Yes, that's true. Whenever you go to some place, it's better go to Holy Land first. Because whenever you read the Bible, if you reach Holy Land, that's the reality. Everywhere you go, wedding of Cana, Nazareth, Bethlehem, Jerusalem, and all of this, I remember the tree of Zacchaeus, where sycamore tree, where Zacchaeus climbed up just to see Jesus.
so you both saw that.
Yes, the tree with the sycamore tree and the wedding of Cana. So many to memorize, but oh my God, if you go there, you don't know how to say. You will experience some. Are you crying or are you laughing of joy or whatsoever? I don't know. Very hard to
Really,
explain.
it's an experience.
But the Holy Week, obviously, there are a lot of practices that we Christians or Catholics do.
Do
You know, it's
the
about,
same thing.
you know, it's about
Yes.
resurrection.
Uh-huh.
There's a whole process that we go through, right?
Yes.
Did you get to do the way of the cross
Yes.
here? Did you have, I guess, in your
We carried the
itinerary,
cross.
You carried the cross?
Yeah,
Oh,
there was
that's
a cross there. There was a cross there.
Not so big, I'm
Three.
sure.
It's big, but three persons at a time carry it.
Okay.
So you go through the Via Dolorosa, the station where Jesus himself passed from where it was
So
condemned,
exactly where he went.
where he went, and then after 2 or 3 stations, we change crosses. I mean, the cross goes to another 3
People.
people.
With your tour group, is there, well, obviously it's the Holy Land, and I guess people are allowed to do whatever they want, but during Holy Week mismo, is there, like, let's say, an itinerary that you follow, Miss Corazon,
Yes,
when
you
you
have
went?
to follow some itinerary. Sometimes we go to several churches, like going to Beatitudes and all kind of churches. So you go there not just to play, but to pray. Lot of experiences.
Would you say that Holy Week is so much more fulfilling and heartfelt when you're in the Holy Land?
But maybe because that was the time when Jesus was there.
Exactly, and this is exactly when it went down, right?
Yes.
But would you encourage people to go to the Holy Land during Holy Week? Are there lots of people?
Well, there are lots of people, but journeys of faith, sees to it that the itinerary is made in such a way that we are not with the crowd. And the guide there also knows how to see us through ways. We don't join the crowd actually.
Okay,
During
so
Holy Week, which is not the same with other groups.
so when you do go back, do you see yourselves going back in the next year or so?
Yes.
Yes? And you're willing to
it's a long trip.
And you're willing to make that venture over there.
It's just a sacrifice. Because here in the Philippines, we have the penitencia, visita de iglesia. While you're in Holy Land, more of that, you can feel it.
It doesn't matter if you walk a long way.
Yes.
And we have had some old people with us, really, and who not seem tired.
I'm sure, because they're maybe
energy,
elevated
no?
by the energy that's in
Yes.
the place. So what would you tell people who are curious about going to the Holy Land, maybe feel that it's a little too far,
No, it's not.
but what would you say to them to sort of
Don't
convince them?
worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. You will do it.
Miss Corazon?
If you have time, find a time to go to Holy Land,
The first one.
and you will experience everything.
But in terms of course, you had that itinerary for prayer
Yes.
and following the way of the cross. But what about accommodations? Do you also sacrifice?
No.
Do you say, you know what, we will stay in a hotel that only has the minimal basics,
No.
or we'll eat very simple food? How was your food and hotel experience?
Very nice.
Great.
Okay, talk to us about it a little bit.
In the year 1968, the accommodations and the food there was not that. You could hardly eat. But now, with all the hotels there and the accommodations.
Because it's become a tourist destination, of course.
It's nice.
Okay, and Miss Corazon, what would you tell people to convince them to go to the Holy Land?
You can go to Holy Land anytime you want, because there you can find Jesus in reality, not only in Bible, in story. In reality, you can feel how Jesus sacrificed for us, especially for the sample of walking here in the Philippines. We're complaining of the very traffic or whatsoever, you wear already the rubber shoes and still you're complaining of the hardship. But there, you can just imagine God is still barefooted and ran for how many mountains. So that is the comparison of Jesus and us as human. Jesus has sacrificed for us. What more tayo? We are wearing the rubber shoes. We always complain. Samantala ang mga tao doon, they are wearing sandals, sometimes barefooted. We climb all the mountains. So that's the difference. Kailangan tayo mag-sacrifice because God has sacrificed for us. What more tayo? We have to sacrifice also for God. That's it.
And of course, you go there as Catholics, very devout Catholics at that, and during Holy Week. What would you say the experience would be for someone who's not necessarily a Catholic? Do you think that they'll have the same experience
Yes.
with the positive energy that
Yes,
is there?
I guess so.
Why do
Yes.
you feel so, ma'am?
Well, because we've been also with other Jewish, with us sometimes.
So you
we
have a
meet some
tour where it's not just
Jewish
Catholics.
groups and all, but they seem also to be really devoted to Jesus.
Well, I guess it's because they're devoted to Jesus. The person not necessarily
Yes.
the Catholic faith, but as
Christian.
or as somebody who was an instrumental being or person in terms of history. Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
So, Miss Corazon, what about you? Do you feel like non-Catholics will enjoy the Holy Land as well?
Same as Nisa told you. Not all Catholics are there. Sometimes we don't know if they are pagans or whatsoever. There are no comparison to see that everybody is excited to see. Holy Land is a nice place to go.
Okay, well, I think you've convinced me. So maybe I'll take a trip to the Holy Land with you.
Yes,
So,
of course.
so you can show me around your neighborhood.
Yes,
Thank you very much for being with us today.
thank you also.
And thank you for watching Shop Talk. I'm Lexi Schultz. Follow ANC Shop Talk on Twitter and be a fan of ANC Shop Talk on Facebook. Join us again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day.